Welcome back to USA News Hub. Here, we bring you the latest updates, highlights, and breaking news from the world of sports. Stay tuned as we dive into today's top stories and key moments you don't want to miss. Oklahoma Sooners bowl projections from USA Today Sports. The Oklahoma Sooners have made a statement to start the 2025 season. They've picked up big wins over the Michigan Wolverines and the Auburn Tigers and took care of business in non-conference against lower-level competition to begin the season 5-0. Oklahoma's next opportunity for a statement win comes this week when they take on the Texas Longhorns. Their 5-0 start has Oklahoma currently in the playoff picture, according to the latest bowl projections from USA Today Sports. That goes along with ESPN's latest bowl projections after Oklahoma's 44-0 win over Kent State. USA Today Sports' Eric Smith has the Sooners slated to travel to Bloomington, Indiana, to take on the Indiana Hoosiers in the first round of the playoff. The Hoosiers are led by quarterback Fernando Mendoza, who is having a great season. He's completed 73% of his passes for 1,208 yards, 16 touchdowns, and just one interception. He's also run for 102 yards and a pair of scores. Mendoza's name has shot up draft boards through the first 6 weeks of the season and has become a Heisman contender. Smith has the Sooners advancing with a road win over Indiana to face an old nemesis in the quarterfinals, the Miami Hurricanes, in the familiar locale of the Orange Bowl. The Hurricanes hold a 4-3 edge in the all-time series. 3 of those losses to Miami came from 1985 to 1987. The Sooners and the Canes played a home-and-home series in 1985 and 1986, with Miami taking both games. The 1985 loss didn't prevent Oklahoma from winning the national championship, as they closed the season with a win over number 1 Penn State in the Orange Bowl. But in 1986, the Sooners couldn't overcome the early season loss to Miami. Penn State ran the table to win the national championship. In 1987, it was the number 2 Hurricanes preventing another national championship for the Sooners, beating number 1 OU 20-14 in the 1987 Orange Bowl. Even with the uncertainty surrounding quarterback John Mateer, the Sooners' defense has given national analysts enough confidence in the Sooners moving forward to place them in the college football playoff. Oklahoma leads the nation, or is second in the country, in a number of defensive categories. They're number 2 in the nation in points allowed per game at 7.2, behind only Ohio State, which beat the Texas Longhorns in Week 1. The Sooners are first in the nation, in front of Missouri and Ohio State, at 193 yards allowed per game. Oklahoma also leads the way in sacks per game at 4.2, tied with Tennessee. The defense has been elite by just about every measure, even if it's a unit that still has room to improve. But the biggest improvement has to come on the offensive side of the ball. Even with Mateer, the Sooners have struggled to run the ball with consistency. Torrey Blaylock is averaging 4.5 yards per carry and leads the team with 257 rushing yards through 5 games. He's looked good, but the offensive line hasn't played up to the Sooners' standard just yet. They have another big test ahead of them this week against Texas, but the Longhorns just gave up a season-high 157 rushing yards at 4.3 yards per carry to a Florida Gators team that is 13th in the SEC in rushing yards and yards per carry. If the Oklahoma Sooners want to be a playoff team, the defense will have to continue playing like it has been to start the season and continue to get better. But the offense has to take their game to another level. If they can get the ground game going with more efficiency this weekend against Texas, the Sooners will have a shot to be playing meaningful football this winter. That's all for today's update on USA News Hub. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with the latest sports news and highlights from around the world.